What you guys, got another dash cam review. This is the Blueskysea B2W dual lens dash cam. Now this is a 1080p dash camera. Now with the dual cameras, it's ideal for Uber drivers and people like that who want to view inside their cockpit. You've got dual lens, FHD 1080p, day and night, IR cut filter, Wi-Fi, 2-inch screen and a G sensor built in to the camera. You can also get the GPS which will mount to your screen here, which will give you a GPS position and speed and all that sort of good stuff. You've even got a hardwired kit, so you can always power it from the main battery there rather than using the cigarette lighter power unit. Now inside the kit you're going to get your user manual, which is going to help you set up your dash cam. Very simple and easy to do. Shows you how it all works. You've got these easy removable stickers here to put on the screen so you can remove your camera easy. And you've got the mount's instructional reference to help you set up your mount on your dash cam. Very simple and easy to follow with colour pictures. Now you've also got your spudger here with some cable ties and some extra 3M tape for your mounting system. You've got a suction cup mount here, which is what I prefer to use on the windscreen. So if you can quick and removable easy access to your camera, so you want to swap cars, you can do. You've got your charging cable here, which is a USB charging cable, which will charge the actual device. And you've got your power unit here, which has got your normal cigarette power jack on the end to go in your cigarette lighter. And you've also got a USB port on there and your connector. And there's plenty of cable to route around your window screen. And you've got the dash cam itself with the dual cameras. So as you can see here, we've got all your buttons on the front here, your menu, your navigation buttons, your OK button. And of course this does illuminate at night. You can see blue LED lights once you power this on. Now if you want to disable the internal camera, you can do. These do rotate as well. The other one rotates as well, so you can get the perfect position for your dash cam. As you can see here, nice rotation there. Now you've got a nice clear screen here and easy to use navigation buttons and your menu button here. On the side of the unit here you can see we do have a reset button and also your microSD card slot for inside there. I think it takes up to a 400 gigabyte microSD card. You've got your power button here. You've got your little mounting system here with the 3M tape on it. Now this does remove, and you can remove it and use the suction cup if you wish. You've got USB port, GPS and your microphone on there as well. Microphone is very good on this dash cam as well. So if you're going to use the 3M tape, make sure you get it in a perfect position because once that 3M tape is on there, if you don't use the protective plastic covers, it's very difficult to remove. You'll probably use something like piano wire to remove it from the screen. You've got your GPS here. This will also mount to your screen or to some sort of plastic if you want to, with plenty of cable to plug into your device. And again, you've got your 32 gigabyte microSD card in here, and you've got your GPS which will plug in the side here as well. You've got your microphone and your USB port on there, which we've already covered. I just wanted to show you that area there. So all in all, this is everything you're going to need to get up and running. Now I did talk about the power cable here. Now if you want to replace the power cable, which is your cigarette lighter power cable, if you don't want to route that all round, you can have this around, which will power the unit straight to a power source, which means basically it's going to be permanently on and you won't have to use that cigarette lighter port for powering your camera. So if you're on a more permanent basis, you can use something like that as well, instead of using something like this, which will take up your cigarette lighter port there. And some people don't like using that because obviously it's just a bit cumbersome, and this is a much more tidier thing because you can tuck it away and power the unit. So you can see we've got the dual camera on there right now. In this test I will be disabling the input camera for the cabin inside the car, so I will be turning that off and you'll just be seeing the forward facing camera in this test. But they both work perfectly well here, and you can see there's a little square up in the top left hand corner there. You've got all your display on the screen here that tells you just about everything you need to know when it's recording, Wi-Fi, WDR, tells you all that information. You can go into the menu and I'll be taking a look at the resolution here. So You can see here we can just have the front on, which is going to be FHD 60, which I'm going to be using in this video. But if you want to use the front and rear, you can see you've got a couple of options there which you can select. But I'll be using the front facing camera FHD 60 in this case. So we've got loop recording, and we've also got WDR, and you'll find that this is already enabled, it's already on. And we've also got exposure and a bunch of other settings inside here as well. Record audio, which is on, date stamp and date time, these are on as well. And you've also got that G sensor on the menu system as well. You can set this up to how you want once you get your camera, so you just put in your date and time and everything else inside here. Now to go back to the main screen here, you will need to push the menu button or the M button here, and it will take you back to the main screen. Now we've also got a G sensor on here as well. Let me go through a couple of extra bits. You can see you can set this up as a low sensitivity, medium sensitivity and high sensitivity, or you can turn it off if you wish. Let's just go back into that menu system here and navigate all the way down to the bottom here and see what's after G sensor. So we've got display mode, and you've also got lens infrared there. So you've got front camera, rear camera, and then PIP, that's front and rear. Just going to have to go through here and see. So we've got this one here, which is your infrared light control. You've got screen save, also plate number. You can put your car plate number in here, the frequency, and you can turn off that annoying beep every time you go into the menu system. You've got your format for your card, your default settings, and your version here for the actual firmware. Now if you want to remove that bracket with the 3M tape on it, you can do, and you can mount your suction cup. It's pretty straightforward. This just goes on with a sliding motion here. Just got to push this into location. Let's get that into the right orientation here. There we go, and that should just slide in, and then you could just set your angle for your dash cam and then tighten that down to the window. And these are pretty firm on the window, but it's easy to remove when you want to swap cars or stuff like that. If you're into changing cars with one dash cam, it's entirely up to you what you do there. And the GPS will just plug in one side of the dash cam, and you can have that going down one side of the window, and you can also have the power cable going down the other side of the window, which makes it nice and tidy. It's pretty straightforward, easy to do. So let's take a look at some of the footage and test that microphone for the dash cam, and we'll do daytime footage and nighttime footage as well. Microphone test. The microphone you can hear now is on the dash cam. So let me know what you think of the microphone audio. It's probably good enough to pick up audio from the police if they've stopped you, or from internal audio when you want to speak and stuff like that. But that's the microphone. Now you can see here it's a pretty overcast day, but the quality of the image is pretty good, and this is just with the forward facing camera on. So if you're looking for a pretty good dash cam with good image quality, then something like this is going to be ideal. Now there's plenty of dash cams out there on the market that personally just don't cut the mustard. This one is pretty decent, as you can see. Very good image quality, very clear. And the sort of thing you're looking for if you are looking to buy a dash cam is good image quality, and also in all different sort of weather conditions, whether it be nice and bright and sunny, and whether it will be overcast, low light conditions, nighttime. All of these are essential for good camera, and you can see here we're getting a really good footage here. And I've gone a bit faster to see whether the dash cam can handle the amount of data that's coming at it, and it seems to be working just fine. As you can see, no problems whatsoever. Very good image quality here from this dash cam. Now these are going to be ideal for Uber drivers or lorry drivers, or people that just want to record the footage outside of the car and also inside of the car. So it's ideal for that type of person who wants to do that. Now again, let's get on to some night footage here and see how it fares with good lighting conditions at night. You can see the quality is crystal clear. I'll try and take you through to see some different lighting conditions here. As you can see, different lighting conditions, and the camera still performs pretty well in these sort of lighting conditions here. Now we've got different types of lights in the UK. We've got the orangey type lights and also LED type lights. But you can see here, when you're close to a car, you can pick up the number plate very clearly and you'll be able to read that number plate. But as the car gets further away, you'll probably find that you won't be able to read number plates very clearly or easily in certain light conditions. And this is normal because most dash cams can't pick up number plates from a long distance. There's not a dash cam on the market that can actually do that as of 2019. But you can see here that number plate on them cars is pretty much disappeared, and that's the norm really in this sort of circumstances. But that's going to be about it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. My name has been Brian from brighttechcomputers.co.uk. I'll leave the link in the video description. Thanks again for watching. I shall see you again for a new video soon. Bye for now. Now if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the big red subscribe button on my YouTube channel and hit the bell notification button next to that to be notified when we upload new videos.